What's up, everybody? How are you guys? So it's Friday and I'm going to do a take 2 on this video that I tried to record last night, but I've got some backup planned, and so hopefully this will all work because I want to get the word out there on my story, and I know that I can relate to so many other people, not just medical mamas, but if you're new to me, I am Chanel. I used to be Chanel T, the Fit NP. Totally still, that's who I am. However, hey Charlene, how are you, girl? So, okay, I'm doing a live video and I'm also recording this, so just hang tight if I see people and my eyes are in 2 different places. But so I am Chanel. I am a wife of 13 years. I have 2 small preschool boys at home. I'm a nurse practitioner by education, so lots of education, and I am your motivator by choice. I absolutely love and feel like I have been given a gift to be your motivator. But this is the thing, I'm a real person. I have real life issues just like you guys do. My house is basically a wreck right now. My kids are taking their nap, and I'm trying to get this video in so that I can share with you a little bit about my health issues and my stuff that I've had for several years that's kind of led me into Shakeology. So I'm going to try to be brief, but this is a lot of information, so just bear with me. But my story goes way back. So I've always struggled with some body image issues, and nutrition wise, I grew up on fried everything. I'm homegrown East Texan, and so I grew up on fried fish, fried chicken, fried steak. My mom literally would make chicken strips from scratch and mashed potatoes, the whole 9, everything. That was what we ate all the time. Fast food a little, but she just cooked a lot. My mom was a rock star. Like, my dad didn't like leftovers, so she literally would work all day long, come home, fix his food, and even if we had practices or stuff, like, she would still make it work. I remember eating out was a treat for us, primarily because of finances and money. But anyways, that's a long story. So I grew up not eating really healthy, but I was an athlete my entire life, and so nutrition, I didn't really have to worry too much, although I already had body image issues that had nothing to do with nutrition. I always say I tried to be anorexic, but that didn't work out very well. And not to make light of anorexia, because it is a disorder. It's a serious disorder, but this sister likes to eat, and so that didn't last long. I've tried every nutritional supplement, every pill, I've tried all kinds of stuff. I remember in college going and buying, I think her name was Anna Nicole Smith. You guys know her. She had those weight loss capsules. Girls, I done tried it all. So I had an issue. I always felt bigger than everyone else. And regardless of me being a cheerleader in college and everything, I still had issues with body image. So, needless to say, I graduated from nursing school and then went back to school to be a nurse practitioner. And during that time, I was gaining weight. Well, I was stressed out, school, I did go to the gym, but I didn't know nutrition. As a nurse, I still did not know nutrition. And then after being a nurse practitioner, I still did not know nutrition. That's not something that they really spent a long time on. So I needed a fix. I needed something that I could do to start learning, and I was pretty desperate. So I was, after my nurse practitioner education, I started working in the emergency room. Hey, Allison, how are you, sister? Thanks so much for jumping on. These 2 sweet ladies on here, Charlene and Allison, I've started developing relationships with, and this is the beautiful thing about what we do, is meeting people online and getting to develop friendships and relationships, because I'm on a mission to build a sisterhood. So I love meeting new people. So after school, I was going to work in the ER. I was working in the ER a noon to midnight shift, and I was desperate. I was like, okay, I gained this weight. I need to lose it. And I even have some pictures of this time because I actually did a travel nursing job and have some pictures that I was like, what happened? So I was like desperate. I'm like, okay, I'm done with school. Let's get this on, right? So I hired a personal trainer because I didn't know what else to do. I'd already been going to the gym. It wasn't really working. I loved the community, but it wasn't working. So, okay. So I spent several $1,000s with a personal trainer for about 8 weeks. and I didn't lose any weight. He was helping me a little bit with nutrition, but that's the thing. Most personal trainers don't help you a lot with nutrition. Some do, but most often you have to pay for that. It's not part of their personal training. The nutrition thing is a totally different. So he was helping me a little bit, but he was like, girl, I don't know what to do. I don't know why you're not losing. So I ended up going to my doctor, who then recommended me go to another place to get this full panel of blood testing to figure out what was going on. And at that point, I was depressed. I was having bad thoughts. I was crying at work. I was overwhelmed with what I'm doing all the right things and it's not working. And with already having the body image issues, it was taking a toll on me. And the unfortunate thing is I didn't have kids or anything at that time, but that's all my mind, what was on my mind. I was just, that was it. And so I didn't have anything like kids to distract me, right? So got these blood tests back and found out that my genetic type is very high for insulin resistance. So I will forever be fighting insulin resistance. I do have some obesity. I do have heart disease in my family, and I am going to forever have to fight that. So at that time, they actually gave you a free consultation with a nutritionist. Well, I was like, okay, well, you think I would know some of these things. Well, of course I knew some of them, but I needed someone to guide and direct me. So I met with her, and at that time, that is when I started what everyone is referring to as a ketogenic diet, the high-fat, low-carb diet. Basically, that's exactly what it is. That's what I've been doing for like 7 years now, because that's what my body responds best to. And so, of course, at that time as well, I was like, okay, so this is all great. I can start limiting my carbs, limiting my fruit, just being really mindful and doing a lot of research. And I was like, but the problem is I work a noon to midnight shift. So what am I going to do? I still need nutrition. I'm in the ER. They don't let you take a break. So I was trying to figure out, I need a nutritional supplement. I need something that's going to help me with fighting my insulin resistance. That's something that's going to fight my sugar cravings. Because what leads to insulin resistance? Like I was in the pre-phase, so I don't have insulin resistance, but I will chronically be in that. You could get that if you aren't careful with what you're taking in. So I needed a nutritional supplement that was going to fight my sugar cravings, that was going to give me protein for stamina in the ER, that was going to taste good, right? But also, I needed fuel. On these 12-hour shifts, it's like, can you even sit down to eat? Even if you're not working 12-hour shifts, if you're working 8 hours, even if you're a stay-at-home mom, can you guarantee that you're going to get in probiotics, prebiotics, superfoods, adaptogens? Are you sure that you're going to get in all these things? Well, first of all, I didn't even know what a lot of those things were, even as a nurse practitioner, because they don't teach you those things, right? You can take your own time to do that, but I didn't do that. So I was like, I needed fuel, good, solid fuel. So I was introduced to Shakeology at that time from a fitness instructor who had started drinking it, and it was an amazing opportunity for me to just be like, okay, I mean, why not? Like, why not at least try it? I trusted her wholeheartedly, 100%. And I was like, I'll just go all in and try it. The worst thing that can happen, I can return it. Or it's not my 100% money back guarantee. I don't have to keep doing it. But I did a lot of research. I just want you to know up front, I did a lot of research before I ever did this. My husband did a lot of research. He was an athletic trainer at the time. So both of us have master's degrees. I was trying to be very particular about what I was putting in my body. And the thing is that I'm pretty loyal and pretty hardcore about things. And so I'm like, if I'm going to spend this money, I'm probably going to be drinking it for a while. And so I jumped on the train because clinical studies were showing that it did help with sugar cravings. It did help you lose weight. It also helped with some gut health. I mean, think about it. It has probiotics and prebiotics, superfoods. Like, these things don't normally come in any shake out there. And so it outweighed everything else. And another huge factor for me was the sugar component. So you look on every single label of yogurt, most, not every single one, but most. Back back then, this is like 7 years ago, guys. 7 years later, I'm still chugging along with the Shakeology. But back before that, at that time, like every single bit of yogurt out there has sucralose in it, the sweetener. You wonder, well, how 100-calorie yogurt? Well, how the heck does it taste so good? It's because it's got crap in it. That's why you always have to think about that. Not necessarily, but your taste buds are used to the artificial stuff. So I was, and the other thing, let me just go here for just a second. But a lot of people don't understand that the artificial sweeteners, sucralose, it's leaving me, but the stuff that's in, and Allison and Charlene, if you know the answer to this, jump on, sisters. So the stuff that's in Diet Coke, oh my gosh. So these things trigger a brain response for you to crave sugar. So these diabetics, these people like me who were drinking like literally 32 ounces of Diet Coke thinking that I could drink the Coke instead of eat the sugar. The problem is it was telling my brain that I was eating sugar. And so you hold on to fat when you're drinking and putting in the artificial sweeteners in your body. It is clinically proven over and over and over. There's all kinds of studies that say when you're taking in chronically artificial sweeteners, you are going to gain weight or you're not going to be able to lose weight. Well, hello, I wanted to lose some weight and I wanted to maintain, I want to have a healthy lifestyle. I was already taking out as much sugar as possible because this sugar addict over here needed something. Long story short, I jumped on the train because I'm like, why the heck not? And at that time, I actually went ahead and said, you know what? There's this discount opportunity that I can save money on that shake because I know I was going to drink it for a while. So I started coaching 7 years ago because of this discount that they had. I didn't know anything about the coaching opportunity. I didn't know what that meant, but I knew that I was going to be drinking it. So that's how I got involved in coaching. But clearly 7 years later, I wasn't all in the business. I didn't really understand it. I had just graduated. And if I can just put this out there, if I would have known how much I would have changed mentally, physically, personally, spiritually, emotionally, being a full-time coach before I even knew about like going back to school to be a nurse practitioner, I would have chosen to be a coach 7 years ago because my life is changed 1000%. My marriage is different. My emotional state is different. My spirituality is different. Everything is different. So it took me a while to be like, what the heck is going on here? Why don't you start working and building your own dream and recognizing like what this potential really has. But it took a while for me to realize. So fast forward a little while, after I had kids. So you're probably thinking like, okay, well, you're on Shakeology and then now you're talking about leaky gut and you're talking about adrenal fatigue. Yes, that's what I'm going to talk about now. This is the thing. So I started working in the ER and, those long, crazy hours. Well, it is now extremely this diagnosis. There's not a medical diagnosis associated with it. And mainly it's because it's subjective. It's how we feel and we're telling someone how we feel. So it's kind of like having like headaches or concussions. It took a while to start having diagnosis associated with these things because it's all about how you report that you feel. And so it's coming. There's no doubt that the medical diagnosis of adrenal fatigue and leaky gut, it's all coming. But those things are not taught in school. And so I say they're not taught in school. There are a lot of, there's the specialists. Like I'm medical here, guys. Listen to this. I'm medical. And I knew for myself that I could not go see a GI specialist for them to help me with both my leaky gut and my adrenal fatigue. They're connected, but they're not trained to do both of those. There are some people out there who do, but it's because they've done extensive training on putting the puzzle pieces together. But that's not what a lot of these people are trained in doing. So recognize that if you have these issues, there's not going to be a lot of people who know what to do with them. And it's not at anyone's fault. It's the fact that no one's gone there to do the research and to put the pieces together. So I had to take matters into my own hands because I was like, I'm not getting on a hormone replacement because at this point I was not producing any hormones. That's what made us decide this is adrenal fatigue. My hormones are gone. I'm extremely exhausted. I'm starting to gain weight despite the fact that I had removed dairy from my diet. I had removed all these things from my diet, and I was doing my workouts. I was still eating healthy. Like, I was still doing the things that would keep you healthy, and I was going the complete opposite direction. Well, what had happened is that I had already chronically exhausted myself with all the crazy hours and shifts in the emergency room, but then I started having kids. And so my little boys, I was working still the off shifts and trying to be a mom. And then I had another one 18 months later, and I had not my sleep was still, I was still exhausted. And then I left the ER to do this business. So I was only getting about 4 to 5 hours of sleep on average for at least 3 years straight. And so my body quit responding to the nutrition. It quit responding to the fitness. It quit. I didn't have a stress response. So the adrenal fatigue and all of that was and high, it was there, but I didn't know it yet because I'm pretty hardcore. And so I just keep going, always have. And finally, when I recognized, okay, you haven't had a menstrual cycle in over a year after your child was born. And now you're gaining weight. Now you're bloating. I was bloating, literally looked like I was pregnant some days. And I was like, something's wrong. And so that's when I went to my OB, and he was like, I don't think there's anything wrong, because this is how a lot of women are. And I even posted on Facebook a post because of this. And they said, oh, I have that. Everybody has that. That's just part of getting old. Well, let me tell you something. I am very conscious about my body. I'm very conscious about my health and how I treat my body. And I knew something was wrong. So you always know. Don't take other people's things, what they say, to heart. You know you. And if you feel something's wrong, you need to go get it checked. Of course, at that point, I had no hormones that were being produced. So he got back the blood work, and he was like, oh my gosh, you were right, and now I need you to get on hormones. Well, I'm not going to just do that, right? So that's the kind of person I am too. I'm not just going to take someone's word for it. So I had already been doing research, and I had already decided I have to have it. Adrenal fatigue is what I have. But he was not comfortable treating that or diagnosing that or even dealing with that because he was an OB. He wasn't really, he just wanted to put me on birth control pill. That'll fix. But I'm like, a birth control pill is not going to help my fatigue. It's not going to help my gut. It's not going to help any of those things, which were more annoying to me, right? And more annoying to me. So I ventured out and started seeing a naturopath because I'm like, there's not a lot of people who will deal with all of these. So this lady actually did tons of internships with medical providers. She had tons of certifications. She had been doing it for 20 years, and she specialized in hormone. And so I felt very confident and very comfortable with her. And she used a tool that does a full body scan. So there's no blood work involved. But I will tell you, I was a little skeptical at first because I was like, this is weird. Like, medical people, we want you to draw our blood. Like, tell us. But also know as a medical provider, sometimes the blood work tells you nothing, because guess what? On my blood work, it said my thyroid was fine. But when I was scanned on her scanner, she's like, it's not fine. Obviously, you're gaining weight. You're tired. Your thyroid is not working like it's supposed to. But the blood work said it was fine. So be mindful about those kind of things too. So she put me on a few supplements that were mostly adrenal and hormone based. We started doing a little bit of probiotics at that point, and she scanned my Shakeology, and there was no reason to stop taking my Shakeology, and it already had some probiotics and prebiotics in there. So she's like, well, we'll just start with this, and we'll try to hammer your gut. You keep doing the Shakeology, and then these is a food list that you're showing to be sensitive to now. So to make a long story short, I know I'm long-winded, I'm sorry. But so the big picture is that I started doing these natural ways to heal your gut. And even though Shakeology is 100% dense and has some amazing properties, sometimes you still need to supplement, right? So just like when you're pregnant, you need to take more folic acid before you get pregnant to help with defend the neurotube defect. So there's certain times in your life where you may need more supplements. Okay, so there's nothing wrong with that. But she was confident that the Shakeology was still doing something good for my body because I wasn't sensitive to it, and everything that is in it, it's undeniable. It's not a protein shake. So many people think it's a protein shake, but it's not. And I'll talk about that here in just a few minutes. But I really wasn't seeing a whole lot of progress being on the supplements and doing the gut cleanse with more probiotics about 6 to 8 weeks in. And so I'm like, something still's not right. Like I would have waves of good days and bad days, good days, bad days. And I'm like, I'm spending all this money. Well, so I started doing more research, and then that's when I discovered the bone broth. Okay, so you want to know some tools that I'm using to fight my leaky gut and adrenal fatigue. Bone broth, bone broth, bone broth. So I started drinking that pretty regularly, and literally within about 4 weeks, I could feel, and this is the weirdest thing, I know, just bear with me, but think about not cottage cheese, but Swiss cheese, where it's a piece of cheese and it's got these little holes. Well, that's what leaky gut is. If you don't know what leaky gut is, it's literally there are little holes in your gut. So when you eat and your body's trying to absorb the nutrition, some of it is leaking out into your bloodstream. Well, of course, it's not supposed to do that. So your body is going to bloat. It's going to be tired. It's going to cause everything to be out of whack, including your hormones. Hello, ding, 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 which was what a problem was with me. And so your gut is just, it's like the central thing of health for you. Obviously, your brain is a big part of this. But what we're learning through lots of research I've even been reading is that if your gut's messed up, everything is messed up. And so who would have thought? I didn't know all this. So the bone broth literally seals off and heals the gut. Think about that for a second. The Swiss cheese has the holes, and it literally seals it off. And as I'm drinking it, because some days I'm like, this is awful. It's not that bad, but it just is like, if you're drinking a ton of it. And so I had to visualize it literally coating and healing my gut. And so, man, it did the body good. I'm here to tell you, like, I started feeling a ton better. I could feel that my bloating was getting a little better. And so the next thing is I started to go in waves again. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm limiting my nutrition and I'm taking the bone broth. What else am I missing? So I went back for my final scan with this naturopath, and she detected candida in my gut. Well, this is like rampant in so many people's guts. In excess. Like, we're supposed to have good bacteria. We're supposed to have a little bit of candida. We're supposed to, right? That's what keeps us from getting sick. And people take the probiotics and prebiotics, right? But when you have an overgrowth, then your body is not going to absorb the nutrition like it's supposed to, and you're probably going to be chronically bloated. So for me, light bulbs went off because I was like, I remember reading about this, and a lot of people were using for years, many years, people have been using apple cider vinegar. And so I'm like, okay, well, that's another thing I can do at home and not have to take all these supplements, right? So I started apple cider vinegar. Literally within like 2.5 weeks, bloating gone. Within about 4 weeks, my energy was back up. I started gaining back some of my muscles. So I'm still not there yet, but I work out all the time. I watch my nutrition like I should have a toned body. But I started losing muscle tone because of the hormone imbalances that I was going through, and the adrenal fatigue and the leaky gut. And so I'm starting to get, like, I started to see muscle again. I started to have energy again. My sleep was a lot better. I wasn't sleeping like at all. I couldn't sleep. And that's like me. I can sleep on the floor anywhere. Always have been able to. So all I can say is that the bone broth, because I took off all of the supplements that she had me on, the bone broth and the apple cider vinegar and the Shakeology were instrumental in the healing of this gut issue that I've had. Now, this is something I'm going to have to battle for a long time. And everyone said, Chanel, you're going to have to give yourself like a full year in order to feel better at all. Like, I reached out to people online and all this. Oh no, a full year. Well, I can tell you it's only been 6 months. And I am 100% sure that the reason why some of this was expedited is because of the superfood shake that I'm drinking. Hands down, sister, you're not going to get the stuff that's in this shake in your diet. I don't. We all don't. And I wanted to share with you a little about what is in the shake, because it is truly remarkable. So People are really confused about Shakeology and protein shakes. So it is 100% different than a protein shake. A protein shake is going to have some vitamins and minerals and about 30 grams of protein. If you're drinking a shake with more than 30 grams, you're peeing out the excess because there's no your body can't absorb that. So the stuff that is in Shakeology is crazy. It's crazy. First and foremost is the protein part of it. So if you want to start comparing proteins, this is where you can start. Our protein blend is full of chia seed, a pea protein, flaxseed, quinoa, rice, and oats. And if you're gluten sensitive, then our vegan formula is pea protein and a brown rice protein. So you don't have to do the oat. And it's gluten free. It's not labeled that because of the detailed, extensive testing and separation that has to go in the factory that it's made. But I'm here to tell you, I'm gluten sensitive and I've been drinking the vegan formula for months, even before I wasn't sensitive to the regular formula. We were just trying it. And so I'm going to be going back to the regular formula very soon because clinically I'm not even sensitive to that, and I'm gluten sensitive. So that should tell you. Now, do some people have sensitivity to it? Sure. I'm not saying that everyone doesn't, but it doesn't have gluten in it. So that's your protein base. And check out the superfruit, the antioxidants. So this is the thing. We have free radicals that we're exposed to every single day. The sunlight, the stuff we're breathing, cigarette smoke, guys, like stuff in our food that we don't even know is there, like gluten, free radicals everywhere. So your superfoods, your superfruit, and your antioxidants, such as bilberry, goji berry, green tea, pomegranate, camu. Some of these things I'm not even, I can't pronounce them, but I do know that they're a real thing. And it's not like you looking on the back of a box and you can't pronounce something. You look these up and you're going to see that they're whole food nutrition. And most of them are not even found in the United States. They literally go out and find them and bring them back. So it's remarkable. Super greens. So who doesn't need greens? Everyone always tells you, are you getting your greens in? And there's people going and buying shots of greens. This is the thing. This shake has it in there. It's got spirulina, it's got spinach, it's got kale, all in there. You don't need to go buy extra things to shot wheatgrass to put in your shakes. You don't need to do that. You can at least try this at least try it, especially if you're having any of the stuff that I'm having, because I can guarantee you it is helping me recover so much quicker. Hey sister, how are you? Annika, I think that's how you pronounce your name. Please tell me if it's not. I love it. It's beautiful, but I don't want to mispronounce it. Okay, we're talking about how I'm 100% sure that Shakeology has helped me with my leaky gut, adrenal fatigue, and my insulin. It's clinically proven to help with insulin resistance, which is something I was diagnosed with a while back. So we're going through the content because so many people are confused. They think that they can compare Shakeology to a protein shake like Pure Protein at Costco. Like I was just there earlier and I'm like, it just is so upsetting to me that people think that all protein shakes are created equal. And what they don't realize is that Shakeology is not a protein shake and that it's a whole food shake. And I've already talked about it's got a different set of protein in it. Our protein base is very different than your typical whey-based protein. It does have whey protein isolate in there, but it's got chia, pea, flaxseed, quinoa, rice, oats, and we even have the vegan formula that does not. It's got a pea protein and a brown rice protein. So there's plenty of option there, but it's also got fruits with antioxidants like bilberry, goji berry, pomegranate. It's in there. It's in the shake. And then your greens, your super greens, these are going to help you with vitality. So if you're eating all your fruits and vegetables, you go, girl. Because I can tell you that's a struggle for me. It's a struggle for everyone to get that in. But I can 100% assure you that I'm at least getting that in with my shake. And my kids love it and drink it too. Because all these things that are in here, they need it too. You kidding me? Kids, they're preschoolers. They don't eat very well, but I know that they're getting a good dose of nutrition every day because of these things. And then adaptogens. So think about this. Adaptogens are the things that we can give to our bodies to help us fight stress. It helps us adapt to stressful situations. So the maca. So that's the newest thing that we've added to our shake, maca. I see people going to buy maca and making their own maca shakes when it's in our shake. You don't have to go spend that extra money. It's in our shake. That's how amazing it is. That's how much the creators really, really love us. Like, they're on a mission to find the best quality stuff to help us. And a big disclosure, the creator of Shakeology struggled with adrenal fatigue and gut issues. She was so weak at one point that she could not even walk up the stairs to her apartment. And this was in her late 20s. She couldn't figure out what was going on. And what she found out is that nutrition could start to heal her. She went to every doctor, every blood test. Nothing was wrong. They would say nothing is wrong with you, but she couldn't walk. They said it was all in your head. Think about that. That's kind of how I felt when I went to my doctor and he was like, nothing's wrong with you. This is what every woman suffers with. I'm like, I'm sorry, but I take pretty dang good care of myself. There's something wrong. And I was right. There's something wrong. And so she's on a mission. Her goal with Shakeology was to create a product that would help you and I heal, would help you and I adapt to stressors, would help you and I get our greens in, get our superfoods in, the stuff that we know we're not going to be able to get in our normal diet. Hello, you can say you eat healthy all you want, but you're not going to get all the nutrition that you truly need. We can't. Food has been processed. Food in the soil is not even the same as it used to be 20 years ago. So it's just not going to have the nutrition. So I don't know about you. One more thing I want to talk about is the digestive enzymes, because it's got probiotics and prebiotics in there. Yukon root, it's got lactobacillus. There's a list of them in there. And comparing probiotic and prebiotic labels, like, it's in here. It's in here. So I just want you to know, like, it doesn't mean that you don't need additional supplementation. So I tried additional supplementation because I was like, well, it's showing that I'm deficient in these areas. But all I can say is that it clinically, generally people don't get better with leaky gut and adrenal fatigue in less than a year. It was 6 months for me that I started feeling almost 100% better. Truly almost 100% better, until I went on my trip and I drank alcohol, I ate every fried food, every sweets galore, and of course my gut is like messed up. So I'm now drinking my bone broth, getting back on my apple cider vinegar, and like, I'm 100% confident because of that, and drinking my Shakeology every day, because I didn't have Shakeology 3 days while we were gone because I forgot my packets, and they ran out, like, you know, all the stuff that happens on a normal occasion. But so the thing is that I've been drinking Shakeology for 7 years, and I'm not here to try to convince you. I'm here to try to educate you, just to be aware of what you are putting in your body. And for me, it's a no-brainer. It's less than $5 a day. Less than $5 a day. You cannot go and get a coffee for less than $5 a day. And I can guarantee you there ain't no Starbucks drink, there's no smoothie drink out there that's going to give you these things. And if you said, can you add some maca? Can you add some chia seed? Can you add this? Can you add some spinach? Can you add that kale? Can you add that to my shake? You're going to walk out of there with about $20 shake. Like, that's it. It costs a lot of money. So our company is doing everything they can to bring us the best nutrition out there. And because it does have some protein in there, it keeps you full. And for me, the reason I keep drinking it is because I usually feel pretty dang good, and it has helped me in my weight loss journey, and it keeps my sugar cravings away. If I'm craving sugar, I know that if I drink my Shakeology, it will be gone and I won't be tempted. And I don't know about you, but if you struggle with sugar addiction, it's a real thing. It's horrible. And if there's anything that can knock that out, sign me up. And so 7 years later, it's still doing the same thing. I have a better body after baby. I feel better in my own skin now, and not just from Shakeology, but it's been a vital role. And so I'm going to share it, and I'm going to boldly, unapologetically share it, because if it's changed my life, sister, it can change yours. And the really, really amazing, cool, crazy thing about it is that because I share it, the company that makes it, Beachbody, they actually support you as a coach and say, if you'll just share your story, then we'll actually give you income for doing that. If it's changing your life, share it. Just like these eyelashes. Let me tell you a little quick story. So I was told about going to get these little eyelashes, and they're at a place that is highly recommended, but the cost is down. And they aren't guaranteed. So that's why the cost is low. I've been telling everybody in my town because I'm like, guys, they're amazing. They look awesome. They last. So I've been telling people, am I getting any commission off of these eyelashes that I'm sharing? No. The same thing with your Starbucks, like the whole unicorn thing. Like, you didn't get paid to advertise for Starbucks, do you? But the thing about this company, because they love to help us be healthy. They want us to be healthy. Of course, are they making money? Yes, but they don't want to be on the shelf like Pure Protein. They don't want to be on the shelf like all the other shakes. They want us to share our story because it's changing lives. And then they're saying, I will support you financially if you do that. So there's a really cool gig with that. So anyways, okay, I'm going so crazy long and I'm so sorry, but I'm super passionate about helping you live healthy. And it's not as expensive as you think it is because, Mama, I've been doing it for 7 years. I know exactly how expensive it is. And if you care about your health and the legacy that you're going to leave for your family, then your priorities maybe need to shift. And maybe you need to start taking care of yourself at whatever cost that means. And I'm here to help. I'm here to help with that. I give you tons of free stuff on my page. But as far as my groups and helping you understand what maybe could you do this coaching thing like I'm doing, I'm here. I'm here to share and help because I'm not holding back because truly my life has changed. And why would I keep that to myself when I would want the same for you? So I hope you have a great rest of your afternoon. I hope this was helpful for you. And I will talk to you later. All right. Bye.